Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. First day to a new week of Thanksgiving. Super exciting. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Um, Doing their best to stay that way. Can't have anyone getting sick before the holiday or getting sick at all. Thanks for joining in to the next episode of Chatty. I'm so happy to have all of you. It's going to be super fun. This guest this evening is local, and I met her a few months ago. Like, kind of came across her, and I was like, hey, what you're doing is awesome. I think everyone would love to hear about it. So just give her a second to hop on, and we will get started. But yes, thank you everyone for joining in. Ready for this. Did anyone do anything fun this weekend? I know we're having to be a little more cautious now, like quarantine's kind of taking a spin and getting a little more serious again. But anyone do anything fun, anything different? For any Marylanders who live in the Montgomery County area, you should check out Lone Oak Brewing Farm. Now is like the time to go. They have a lot of cool stuff set up. I went last night, totally COVID conscious and aware of everything. Everyone check it out. All right, here we go. Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey,
How are you? It was not showing up.
good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, it was not showing up on my side that you were on, so I don't know if you had.
Mine was like loading for a minute, so
Perfect. How are you? How's your weekend?
it's been good. Pretty unproductive, I'll be honest.
Girl, I'm feeling that way too. I really had a lot I was supposed to do, and then today literally nothing got done, so it's okay. There's always
I mean,
tomorrow.
it's like a decompression, like a weekend to chill. It was fine.
Yeah, tomorrow's Monday. We start again. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you. I'm going to do a little intro to start us off. But hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Chat E. My guest tonight is the wonderful Katy. She is the founder and starter of Katy's Flower Wagon. I actually ran into her a couple months ago. I was kind of explaining this beforehand before you hopped on. In Frederick, downtown Frederick. She's going to get into and explain more about her business. But we met in person. I found out about what she was doing, actually bought something from her, and was like, hey, what you're doing is awesome. I think that everyone in the Maryland, area and everyone in general would love to hear about it, and you're great. So here she is. So I'm so excited that we've actually gotten to connect, and that you were available to do this tonight. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so glad to be here. Like you reached out to me or texted and reminded me about when we met, and I was like so excited to hear from you and see your platform and everything. So I think what you're doing is amazing, interviewing all these entrepreneurs and stuff. So I'm super happy to be here.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. Thank you. See, it's all about, because I'm up and coming entrepreneur too. So it's all about like pumping each other up and making new friends that are like minded and just like do this thing together. So I have had so much fun doing this. This is actually my 12th episode, and I didn't realize like I've done it so many, but like it's really rolling. So it's been very fun for me.
So,
So would you like to give a little intro to your business? Just introduce yourself and kind of like share about you and what you're doing.
sure. So I back in March, moved home from school when campus shut down and everything,
Right.
and was kind of bored and needed a quarantine project. So I came up with this idea I decided I wanted to be a florist for some reason. I bought a 1940s army trailer, completely rewired the brakes and everything, fixed it, added railings, painted it bright pink, and started selling flowers by the stem in downtown. And so far it's been going really well. I've gotten to expand more to doing like weddings and special events.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool. I didn't know that. That's amazing. Wow.
I'm still like getting into it, but it's going well so far. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Well, especially because this is such a new business, it's super exciting that you've come so far already, and also because it is going to start, it's getting cold. This weather's so unpredictable, but you're probably not going to want to be outside as much, like doing what you were doing. We can kind of dive into that more. But it would be really cool for you to have other options and stuff.
Yeah, so I actually 3 weeks ago now, had like my final event with the wagon. I was like, all right, it's getting cold. It was like the last event, and it like rained on that day, and I was like, I think next week's gonna have to be my last weekend outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I still do like special deliveries, and I have a subscription service that does really well. And then say again with the special events and stuff, I was doing like special Thanksgiving feature bouquets, and I'm gonna do them in for Christmas again too.
Cool. Ooh, I didn't know you had a subscription service. I'm redoing my room right now, and it would be it's like monthly, I'm assuming.
I actually do weekly usually, or that's not.
Well, I might have to sign
If
up.
you want monthly, I can make it work.
No. Well, I mean, I should sign up because, it brings so much like pop and color into the room. Ooh, girl. Okay, we'll talk after this. I didn't know you were doing that. That's awesome. Okay. So when you were coming up with an idea and like trying to figure out what you were going to do after coming home from school, you said that you decided to become a florist. Why is it flowers that you picked? Of all of the businesses you could start and the things you could do, why'd you pick flowers?
That's the funniest story because to be perfectly honest, I've always liked flowers, but I've never like had a connection to flowers or like wanted to be a florist. Like it was never something I considered. And it actually started because I've had an obsession with vintage wagons and vintage, like, I've wanted a Volkswagen microbus since I was like 8 years old. Okay.
So funny.
So my mother found this Instagram in Tennessee of a girl that had a flower business in a Volkswagen bus, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. So I started like looking more into it and looking into like flowers and floral design, and decided that it might be something that I was really good at, and kind of just went out on a whim and found a wagon.
That's so cool. I mean, yeah, that's great. Finding something that you've been interested in and connecting it and then building something from scratch. That's so cool. And so when you bought your wagon, did you say it's a trailer? It's like a wagon, right? Wagon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I pulled with my car.
Right. So when you bought your wagon, how did you come up with the design and like your color scheme, and like how did you come up with the design and like what you wanted for your wagon? Because I personally, when I first saw it in downtown Frederick, that like the aesthetic of your flowers and your wagon are what like caught my eye. I was like, I want flower, the whole aesthetic. Everyone will have to check out your Instagram and everything after this. But the aesthetic that you bring to the places that you go is so appealing, which brings people in to make them want to buy it from you. So how did you decide on like the colors and like what you wanted to do with that, or even like how you set up the flowers? You can kind of explain how your wagon is set up if you'd like, just so people.
So first of all, thank you for saying that, because when I was putting the whole thing together, I was like, if it's anything, it is going to be aesthetically pleasing and just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have like I guess I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to get. Like this wagon just happened to pop up on Facebook Marketplace, and I thought it was the cutest little thing. And it originally had like a top on it, like a truck cap on it that I pried off. And, I kind of looked at it, and the design of it made sense to me. I decided it definitely needed railings, and like blush pink is like my favorite color, as you can see by all of my room decor. And it matches. This is kind of funny. I drive a Honda Element, which if you don't know what that is, it's a very square car.
Gotcha.
It looks like and it's adorable but weird, and it's like green like this. So the pink really just went with it too.
That's so funny.
So I kind of
put it on the back of your car when you're driving.
Yeah. And there's like magnets on the side of my car. It's a whole thing now.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, I kind of based everything around that pink, and I actually originally had the design for like a cover for it. And after I put the railings on and stuff, it seemed very difficult and expensive to put on there and be able to travel with and stuff. And I found these adorable black and white umbrellas at a home goods store or something that just matched the aesthetic perfectly. So I set those up every day, and they just add to the whole picture of it, I think.
Yeah.
So it kind of all came together piece by piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you asked about setting up the flowers. That's honestly the most difficult part, I feel like, because I will pick out some of the weirdest things sometimes, like decorative peppers I think are so fun, and they don't always like match the wagon exactly. So when I set things up, if you were to watch me, there's like 20 or 30 minutes after I'm like set up where I'm just moving buckets around. I'm like, okay, this color needs to be over here. Okay, there's not enough orange on this side.
Right.
So it's a process.
That's so cool though. It's all about having an eye for that though. I feel like I would be like that too, and it would take me so long. I don't have any, like, you know how people have like that interior design or that eye for
It takes me time.
and I'm not that person. No, that's so cool. It really is so aesthetically pleasing. I was like, guys, what's that? We don't have a choice but to stop. This is so cool.
That's my entire goal, so.
Yeah. So, well, pumped for you. It's literally so pretty. So I'm very excited for you. So this, you said your business itself started in March. You kind of came up with the idea and figured out where you were going to go from there. So I guess maybe dive just a little bit deeper into like the expansion of where you've gone from there, because my question was kind of based off of like your quarantine project, but your whole business, everything that you're doing has started over the course of the last like 9 months. So yeah, so like, can we find out a little more about the subscription, all those kind of things? I'm super excited for that. I didn't know you were doing that.
So like I said, it just started out as like I was selling flowers by the stem. I didn't really have any extra like services on top of that. You know, I had never done floral design before that, so I've definitely learned a lot and done a lot of research since then.
Definitely.
And as I was saying, I've like grown into doing more events and weddings, and I want to definitely keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like where I'm going from here, or like?
Yeah, kind of. So you're doing the weddings and different stuff. So what does this subscription kind of thing entail? Does that just mean like people can go online and pick the type of flowers that they want and you send them to them? And I saw that you're also doing like delivery services. So it's not just like people can go pick up their flowers by the stem and like choose them out. But now like there's more offered. Because even when we met, I don't think those were things that you were doing. So those are pretty
cool. It's a new thing that I've started. So I've been doing like weekly bouquets for a while. So when I first get all my flowers, and I'll put together a bouquet and I would post it on Instagram and sell it for $20 and you can come pick it up, or a delivery fee. I still only do local delivery at the moment, that I can take it myself because shipping flowers scares me.
Yeah.
I'll get there eventually, but for the moment I'll stick with just like driving it. So basically the subscription service that I have, it's 4 weeks at a time that you sign up for. It's $20 a week. That includes the bouquet and delivery. And it's just a different bouquet that I've put together every week. They're always a little bit different. Each person's is always a little bit different. They're always super different from the week before. So you're always getting something new. But that's something that I just started doing a couple weeks ago. And so far it's been going really well. And then I also have, like I said, I'm doing arrangements. So you can message me, go to my webpage and just purchase a table arrangement. And I'll contact you about vases and colors that you want and put together exactly what you're looking for. I have some really cute ones coming out for Christmas that I'm so excited about.
Yes.
Little red trucks. I'm so excited.
Continuing with this aesthetic. I mean, that is such a good idea. I feel like subscription boxes, I personally have just ordered about 5 recently of these things I've been wanting to try, and I was like, okay, I'm saving money. I might as well just like do it. So like subscription boxes are like the move. Like that is so smart. So profitable, and then also people see like your consistency, especially if you're able to do weekly. That's brilliant. You know, like they see it and then they love it and then they share it with people. And I feel like so many moms and like parents and like newlyweds, everyone wants flowers in their house. And $20 is so reasonable. There is a question below. What is your furthest radius of delivery?
For weekly deliveries, I'm doing 10 miles of downtown Frederick.
Okay.
But I also offer like pickup if you happen to work in Frederick or anything. So.
Okay, that's good to know. That's definitely good to know. I think that, like you said, it's definitely important to master, like check out how the flowers deliver, especially with, like I feel like so many people are ordering things right now too. Postal can be delayed a little bit at the moment. So you definitely want to make sure that, you know, the flowers don't die.
It's definitely something I need to look into, of like what kind of flowers are going to ship well and which ones. Like dahlias are my favorite, but I know they're not going to survive out of water for very long. So it's definitely a whole process, and there are ways that I can package them that will ship well, and I have been looking into that. So stay
Sure.
tuned.
No, that's really great. Dahlias are the big ones, right?
Yes, they're like color. Yes.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my questions. What was your personal favorite flower? I when I got flowers from you, I got a couple of those, and I'd never heard of them before, but I love them. My mom was like, "Did you
Yeah.
get me any flowers?" I was like, "Sorry, next time you have to pick them yourself."
The dahlias I actually get locally, which is part of the reason they're my favorite flowers. So there's a
Hmm.
couple of farmers around that are fantastic and I absolutely adore. So I get to like go pick up flowers from them every week and pick out which like color schemes I want. And they're always just so gorgeous and out. Like people will walk by the wagon and like be like, "Are those fake?" And I'm like, "You would think."
Right, right.
Fake flowers wish they look this good.
No, seriously. Well, that's so cool. That actually leads really well into another question. But you just said that a lot of your flowers are coming from like local farmers. So for anyone interested in maybe getting into like I don't know if you call it the flower industry or interested in learning more about this. So are you personally growing any flowers, or do you work with different farmers to get them, or how does that work? And like, yeah, we'll start with that.
So I have a garden. I was working on that. Everything just, frosted over. So obviously it's
Yeah,
not happening now.
right.
Um,
Flowers take
I,
forever too. A lot of them are not bloom overnight.
yeah, I'm attempting.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's just say there are farmers around here. Like I said, they're just the most amazing people and
yeah,
they grow the most beautiful flowers. So I will leave it to them.
yeah.
Um, so that's really where I try to source most of my things. And again, right now it's cold out, so I can't source things as locally. And then I also kind of supplement from a wholesaler out in
Okay.
Potomac. I travel out there every week and get to pick things out of the cooler. And one of the things I love about them too is that they are like local is very important to me for so many different reasons, but
Yeah.
they also source things like DMV area, Pennsylvania,
Really-
which I think is great.
That's really cool and awesome that they're allowing you to do that. That's wonderful. Is I just lost my train of thought. Of course, that's what happened. We're talking about the flowers and on. Let me move on to my next question and then it'll come back. So it was something else that had to do with that, but I'll think of it. Okay, so we met in downtown Frederick, but I know that was not the only place that you were going with your flower wagon. So I think most of the places that you've gone is you said to me when we met was like pretty local, but have what other places have you checked out and gone to kind of like have your flower wagon there?
So so you ran into me at Frederick Coffee Company,
Right.
in Eveready Square, which is
Mhm.
where I was usually there at least 2 weekends out of the month.
Okay.
I do fantastic there. Mike, the owner, is just the nicest person.
Yeah.
And I had like people who would like consistently come back to me, which was just the most amazing thing.
Great.
Um, so that was like my like home base, we'll say. I also went to Sweet Clover Barn Sale every month.
That was
They
what you told me.
Yeah, they're once a month every month for a whole weekend. And they're also just the most amazing people. So I love setting up there. And then I've done a couple other shows. One way out and towards Woodstock
Okay.
was one of the last ones that I did. But I'll have like people reach out to me about special events and stuff, which I love doing.
Definitely.
Just moving around, expanding customer bases, getting to meet
No, that's
people.
so cool. I'm even thinking with all of these, a lot of the people that I've interviewed aren't actually local, but I'm even thinking like maybe next summer, like when this stuff clears up, we could do some kind of market of like all these small businesses and figure out a space and like have just people come to
Yes.
because
Okay, we can make that happen.
no, literally, but like all local businesses, like young
Yeah.
people in their 20s.
Yes.
We should.
Okay, I know. Text me about that.
I just
Yes, I will
thought of it
totally
right
help you with
now,
this.
honestly, with you
Okay,
saying this because
we'll make it happen.
no, it would be so fun and people would be so into it. Love supporting local businesses. And people have been, I don't know if you've seen those posts on Instagram recently, but about like supporting local businesses and paying full price because like right now, like a lot of people aren't surviving through this. Um,
Yeah.
with the small businesses. So like, just being supportive and encouraging, that'll be so fun. We will talk about it. It's so excited. So there is a couple more questions. I just don't want to miss them because the chat keeps moving. So who is the Potomac farmer that you were talking about for anyone that lives locally? Like, is it a place where people can go check out flowers or?
It's not, they're not a farmer, it's a wholesaler.
Oh, okay.
So it's a big old warehouse. They get shipments in every week.
That's
I don't entirely know how it works. If you just want to like go check it out, I think you
right.
can just go in and walk around.
Right.
I have an account as a florist that I'm able to go in and purchase things. But it's in Silver Spring technically. If you
Okay.
just Google Potomac floral. But they're super cool.
Yeah, we're from Montgomery. Well, this is my friend Natasha who asked the question. She's actually one of the friends who was with me when we met you. So she was like, "Oh my gosh, Katy, I'm so excited that you're doing this." She was awesome because she got flowers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she just said you should come to downtown Montgomery County. Well, maybe if we make this happen, not when we make this happen, we could do
When
one
we make it
in
happen.
Montgomery and then one in Frederick. Like, move
Yeah.
around, do a couple people.
Sure.
Not that far. That'd be so fun. All right, Katy, we're gonna start planning it.
Yeah. I know places we can do this. Like, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, get a permit if we need to, make it our own thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I do remember my question when I had like a crazy brain for a second. So, you said your favorite flower is dahlias. I know that each plant and each flower like grows at different times in the year and are in bloom and whatnot. So, for a lot of the flowers that you sell, are you switching them out all the time? Because I really don't know much about flowers. I just know things like change with the weather. And so are you switching things out a lot of the time, so that you have different flowers each month, technically based on what's in bloom, or a lot of them are able to survive all year round, or how does that work?
So there are a lot of things I'm able to get, especially within the season. And the stuff that I get is pretty consistent, but every week I do try to like switch some things out, either with like different colors or different like I like to keep things different.
Right.
And when people come and visit me every week, like I want to have different options.
Sure, definitely.
Dahlias are definitely a later season, like they're in full bloom September, October. Usually they do better in the cold.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, things definitely change a lot. Peonies are more of a warmer end of summer kind of flower. So
No, that's great. I think that, like you said, especially for when people are coming back consistently, that's really great to have different options. They clearly love what you're doing, but to have the different choices is great. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that we're getting all of this traffic. A lot of people are pumped, Katy. This is great. So Chat E is all intended behind supporting young entrepreneurs, and a lot of people who have started businesses do not have a background by any means in business. So are you going to school for business right now? Has this been like a path that you were following and you were like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to start a business? Or was this just like a quarantine thing? It just kind of happened.
So I'm not going to school for business. I am currently in school studying theater production and arts management. So I like to yell at artists, basically. No. But my mother owns a vintage furniture business in downtown.
Right.
And I currently just quit my full-time job to run my own business and work for her because she is moving to a bigger space. So she is a very successful entrepreneur who also had no background in business, just decided she wanted to do this. So I've had great support from her and the knowledge of watching her run her business and having her help in doing this.
That's great.
That's been incredible and a good resource that a lot of people don't have. And I realize how like lucky I am to have that. Definitely. And like be able to kind of have the community that she had too.
Yeah, for sure. Because she gets it. Like a lot of parents, I feel like when their kids are like, hey, I want to start a business, and like, but you're not going to school for that. I don't get it. Why would you? So they're like, what? And it's not like they're like trying to shoot you down, but they don't get it. It's just like, but that's awesome to have that support.
Yeah, she was so supportive. And I mean, like I said, she was like the reason I even came up with this idea, her who like sent me this thing was like, you should do this.
Sure. And she probably has so many tips too.
Yeah.
Which are so
she's pretty
cool. What'd you say?
She's pretty cool.
No, that's so great. I mean, the support system is so important. So I'm really happy that you have that. Like you said, she even helped you find the wagon, right? Or she saw something on Facebook.
She invested in the wagon.
Good for that.
Originally. So yeah, like I'm so lucky to have the parents that I do and to have the support from them. It's just been incredible, and I wouldn't have been able to come up with it or start it without them. So
yeah, oh, that's great. I'm so glad. I remember we were right by your mom's store where we Or when we picked up the flowers. So this is my
Yep.
next question. So what do you do once you pick up the flowers for flower storage, or like how that works?
So after I pick up the flowers from, usually I'll make one full trip out of it. I go out to the farms and then I go out to Silver Spring, get the stuff from the wholesaler.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go back to my workshop in the basement of a store workshop. And I organize the flowers into different bins and give them fresh water. I cut them, just prepare them to be able to go into the wagon come Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. And then you said they all stay in the fridge, right? You said?
And yeah, I just put them in the cooler. Have a nice big
Not a fridge, a cooler.
old heavy cooler.
Yes.
It's
Well,
basically a fridge.
I would have literally had no idea. Like, I mean, I guess I could like figure it out so they don't die if you set them out, but like, I would have had no idea. It's so cool to do these chat e's too, because I learned so much because everyone's into such different things, you know, and does such different things. So that's really cool. So you said that you're not working at your full-time job anymore and have done this, like made this your thing for right now. So I know school's online and eventually things will kind of go back to normal, right? Do you plan to make this like a full-time business? Like, are you hoping to invest like all of your time into this business in the future, or are you kind of thinking you'll still do something else and then have this as like your side gig on the weekends or when you're up for it?
I really love doing this. I mean, it's like I said, when I first started it, I had never considered doing anything with flowers, and now it's like my biggest passion, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to school for something completely different. So I don't quite know what the future holds long term. I love this business and I plan on continuing it as long as I am able.
Sure.
And should I start to do more events and stuff, which I'd like to, I think I'll keep up with it for a long time.
No.
But just taking it a day at a time, I guess.
Yeah, totally, you should. And the thing is too, is especially because in such a short amount of time you've been so successful. Honestly, Frederick too, like downtown Frederick is always so busy. It's always popping. Right. It's a great area to live. And because there's so many people there all the time and everyone loves it, it's such a great place for you to have, you know, started out and done all this stuff. What were you gonna say?
I was just agreeing. Sorry, you cut out for a second.
No, it's okay. I know it was lagging. I was like, is she saying anything? Yeah. But just a great place to start out. But there's so much that's already happened for you in such a short amount of time. So yeah, keep pushing and you will amount to all kinds of crazy amazingness. I'm so pumped for you.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Oh my gosh. So I think that a lot of people during this time have been really discouraged. You know, people's mental health are at stake. There's just like a lot of issues right now, like not being able to live our lives like we're used to. But you are proof of another person who has built her success story over this like really difficult time. You know, you've turned like something that was just simply an idea into a business, and now literally are considering like, wow, could this potentially be like a full-time gig for me in the future, because it's fun, like it benefits people who doesn't like flowers, like people are happy with my business, it's going well. So do you have any tips for people maybe interested in getting into something with flowers, or people that are just interested in starting their own business and just like going out on a whim and doing something new, getting way out of their comfort zone?
First of all, I'd say just like absolutely do it. Like it's incredible, and you know, like worst case, it doesn't work and you move on, you try something new. As far like business advice, I think like we were talking about, is getting to know people locally, connecting with other small businesses, other young entrepreneurs and stuff is so important, because you get to support each other, you get to hype each other up on social media, in person, and you just make absolutely wonderful connections with people who are going to support you and want to help your business. That's, I mean, really been the biggest like motivator and difference for me in creating a successful business, is all the support that I've gotten just locally, just like I said, with the coffee shop, with these local farmers, with other businesses, just either reposting me or inviting me to set up in front of their shops and stuff like that.
Right.
It's there's just nothing else like it. That's my best advice, I'd say.
No, and that's great advice. Like, you literally, if you live life in fear and you don't take a chance, then you never know what could come of your plan, like what you want to do with your life, you know? And I've said this plenty of times, but I think so many people settle because of fear, you know, because they're so terrified of taking a risk. And I get it, it's scary, especially when there's like competition. Okay, so I can actually add this on. So what you're doing, a lot of people sell flowers, like a lot of people have floral businesses, but like I said, your aesthetic, the fact that you are like on the streets talking to people, and you, especially during quarantine when not everyone's comfortable going into a store. Hi, Caroline, by the way. She said hi in the bottom. But like, you know, like you just have something different. I had never seen anyone do what you're doing. Like the cart, I've never, where I've gone, especially in like a downtown cute area like that, it just fit. It was great. But I think that like doing something different, but how have you ever thought about that? Like a kind of avoiding comparison or like competition kind of ways? I feel like you're bringing something new to the table, so it's different and offering something different. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I had never like even like considered like the I don't want to quite say competition, but like the comparison of other like similar businesses and stuff until
like competitiveness. Like it's just like, how do you kind of like make it so that, because I think a lot of people get frustrated and are in fear because they're like, but other people will do better than I will, and so they just don't start. But because there's a lot of people that are into the same kind of things, but that's right, you can make the smallest change, but you do something different, like bring your personality into it, like something different.
Absolutely. Well, so there's another girl who does a similar to what I do, and I found her kind of after I had started my business. Initially sets up at Vanish Brewery, which is one that I've set up at when she wasn't able to be there. Her name's Lily's Flower Truck, and she again does similar things with like By the Stem, but her aesthetic is so different than mine. I think it's so cool that we do such a similar thing.
Right.
Have like still we're just so different, and we also kind of cover like different areas, but she's also been like super supportive of me and I've been supportive of her, so it's again been cool to make that connection with somebody who does something similar. So I think when it comes to like competition, it totally depends on how you look at it and how you approach it. Again, my biggest thing is just hyping up other businesses. Like it's better to support each other.
Okay, it was loading for a second. Okay, I think we're okay. No, yes, 100%, 100%. That is awesome that you guys have connected. I haven't heard of her before, but I'll look into her business. It sounds great. But that's so cool that you guys are like friends, or like that you've connected and that you do that, because each of you are also going to bring something different to the table. And at some point, maybe you can collab and do something together. Like, so fun, you know? So that's awesome. I just think that like is a huge fear for so many people, you know?
Yeah. And it totally like makes sense. I understand it's, hard not to like look at another business and be like, are they doing something I should be doing? Are they doing it better?
Yeah.
It's it's something that gets the better of you, and you just have to like take a moment and look at it and be like, no, I'm awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And just give it your all and just be ready for it. And it's all about trial and error. You figure it out as you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yesterday I was with a friend and we were doing, have you seen on like Princess Diaries how they do like balloon darts with the paint?
Is that the first one?
Yeah. And so like the mom's like an artist, and so they have like balloons filled with paint and you throw darts and it makes splattered. So I bought some to do that because I was like, oh my gosh, so fun. So my friend came over yesterday, and my friend Natasha, and we were trying to do it, and she was like, Ellie, but like logically, like she thought of all these things I didn't even think about, like funnel, and like we're getting paint everywhere, but like dying laughing. And like some of them splattered, like it looked pretty cool, but we're not there yet. Like trial and error. Even if it's just like a project. It was just fun, but like it's a project, But yeah, so we just trial and error everything. You just have to learn. Sure. So
only way to grow.
Only way to grow. Well, I'm so thrilled with your optimism. You have so much going for you, like I said. We are going to have to discuss and plan something huge, because I know it would be so beneficial for so many people and encourage a lot of others to get into entrepreneurship and doing it, even if that's not what they know anything about, Where can people find you? I will tag everything on the like info below our chat, but where can people find you on social media or on a website?
So best thing, Facebook and Instagram, it's at Katy's Flower Wagon. I post updates multiple times a week. I'll bug your feed with stuff.
And Katy is Katy.
Yes, Katy. It's Flower Wagon.
Okay, Katy, well, you are so wonderful. Thank you for doing this with me. I'm so glad that we got to meet and that you were doing so well. I'm going to text you because I want to know more about this subscription. And I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we'll get on to a productive Monday.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
You're welcome. No, it's okay. Of course.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.